A video to hopefully help others put the control board inside the Yaesu G-450C so you can operate it from your PC. This is the newer DC version, and you should make sure before you start that you've calibrated your rotator to the control box and everything is working fine. This is where I got my control board from, and it's the ERC version 4. I bought the already built and tested one purely for personal reasons, and at the bottom is where you can get the drivers from before you install the software. So you install the drivers first. Obviously, before you start dismantling the box, make sure you've unplugged it, and obviously safe to go inside. There's one screw on each side to get into the box, and there are 6 on the bottom, so it's the 3 on each side, the 2 that are in the feet and then the 1 in the middle, and that's how you get the cover off. It slides off backwards. With the board you do get a template, and as all I had to do was drill 3 holes, and then I filed that one out square just to make it look a bit prettier really for the USB. I'm doing this video after I've done it, so I can't really show you me doing it, but drilling 3 holes is simple enough with a template. On the board really is all the things I had to assemble. Was I put these standoff feet on, which just makes sure that none of the circuitry touches anything on the side of the rotator box when it's installed, and these brackets on the back where it oh, there's my finger, where it screws into the back. Obviously that's the USB socket. So it's worth pointing out at this moment, all the link cables come with it, and you get 2 cables, which is why virtually everything's the same colour, but it's simple enough to follow if you've got something like this. So looking at the board on the right hand side, so if you've got the USB socket next to you, on the right hand side you've got a double connector. The first one, which I've got colour coded blue, goes into the brown, which is into the socket at the back and at the top, and then the black one goes round into the white. And if you look, they go into the socket, which then goes out to the rotator. So that's feeding information back from the rotator, so the board knows where it is. On the relays that do the controlling, you only use the 2 outside relays for this application. The middle of the relays are joined together because obviously that's the common, and then that goes up to the red wire, which is there, and they all come off this middle plug. So the brown, the white and the red just intercept those. I've soldered the wires in and heat shrunk them to make them safe. Then the blue and the black, the blue goes out of the left relay and that goes round to the switches on the other side, and the black comes out of the right relay. But just note that they're both on the inside of the relays. The blue and the black wires I've got coming round from the back because they need to go to the controls. So the black is on the front and it's on the top. I've just soldered it on the top wire, which goes on with the green wire, and that goes to the right switch, and the blue goes to the top, which is attached with a yellow wire. The yellow wire is already there, and that goes to the left switch. And they're the 2 from the relay that do the controlling of movement of the rotator. A lot of people said that they, when I looked online, that they spliced into the green and the yellow. But they said it is possible to pull the switches apart when you do that and bits spring everywhere. I just found it easy enough to tin the wires, put them on, just apply a little bit of heat, and they soldered no problem whatsoever. Then screw the board in place with the provided screws. I've actually put it in backwards to how it says on the instructions, I thought, being as it's got these standoffs, it's going to hold it off from the case anyway, and it's none of the circuit boards going to touch any or of the wires or pierce any of the wires, although there are some quite sharp bits on that circuit board. So I just thought it would be a safer option to put it in that way. Reassemble the case, put in the feet back in and the screws in the middle, the screw on the side. Before you plug it into your computer, download the drivers from there and install the drivers first. And again, possibly a good idea before you put your computer in is just to plug it in, switch it on, put your rotator in, and make sure everything is still working in manual before you go to your PC. Just to make sure everything's still working as it should do. With the board comes this service tool for calibrating the board. Now, I made the mistake of using the calibration. In the calibration, you just tell the board where 0 degrees is and 360 degrees is, and then when mine was going round to 180 degrees, it was going out. It was out by about 10 degrees, so I used the extended one. On the extended one, you tell it where every 90 degrees is. So now we're at 0 degrees. It's telling me to tell it that it's at 0 degrees. Okay. It's now telling me to move it round to 30 degrees. And all this is doing is telling the board that the rotator is at that 30 degrees. So you click OK, and then it says move it round to 60 degrees. So you just move it round to 60 degrees. I've got a little bit past, so it's no problem going back. Press the OK. Now you do this all the way around. There's 16 steps, so it does each step 90, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, 360. And then you carry on going round to 30, 60 and 90. And then it calibrates the whole thing. So I won't do each step. I'll just do it now off cam. So I've carried on. I'm gone round to the 330. I have to tell it where the 330 position is. Now it's telling me to drive it round to 0. And I'm still going round clockwise. Press OK when it's on 0. Now it's telling me to go to 30 degrees. I continue going clockwise even though I'm overlapping. And again, OK, it's telling me to go to 60 degrees. Round to 60 degrees, OK. Now 90 degrees. Okay, now that is calibrating the board now, so it's gone all the way round its 360, then you carry on going past the 360 to the 30, 60, 90, and then it's as far as it will go. Okay, then close down the calibration tool, because that will have calibrated the board. Open PST Rotator AZ. Which was downloaded. It is a paid bit of software. It's not really expensive, but it is paid. You can have it not paid for, but it doesn't save your settings. So you can put a call sign in and it'll go and look up, I don't know, G7EJO, and then it'll go and look up the grid square. It's at 91 degrees. Click go. It's moved this one to 91 degrees, so that's where it's aiming for, and the green line is where the rotator is. And as you can see, it's going to move round. A bit of light on there, and it's almost bang on. You can, if you want, just click on, and there I've just clicked on there and it's 178 degrees. And it will go round. To 278 degrees. You can still operate it manually. It's no problem. It will still work. The PC is updating. Look, the green lines are going around as I do it. Or if you know your grid square IO90 to, oh, what's mine? IO92 FS. Enter that, go to locator, and it's going round to that locator. Now, if you decide you need to calibrate it again, you can't calibrate the board while you've got this software open, because they both use the same USB socket. So if you want to calibrate your board, you have to have PTS Rotator AZ shut down. There is two versions of this rotator, so there's the azimuth and there's the elevation, so just make sure you get the right version of software. The software is very versatile. It looks up on QRZ, so as long as the information is correct on QRZ, if you put in the call sign in, then it will go to them. If not, you can put the grid square in if you know roughly where they are, or the direction, or that square that you want. I'm just driving it round to 0 to switching it off. It's a rest position for me. There is a rest position in the software. You can set it to go to its rest position. So yeah, you can still use it manually, no issues whatsoever if you haven't got your PC with you. And I hope somebody finds that useful. All the best. 73s from G7EJO.